So I know why you clicked on this video. You're wondering why some dude is making a chicken sandwich out of the back of his truck. Well, to be honest, it's not so much about the sandwich. It's more about the fact of being able to show you how easy it is to mimic these mainstream restaurants' recipes and even make them a little bit better. So I'm going to be using a propane stove today. I'm going to be using minimal ingredients, all stuff that you can find at your local supermarket, and we're going to be copying the Popeyes chicken sandwich today. Yes, I'm aware that other YouTubers have done it in the past. Yes, I'm aware that it's probably a little bit blown up on YouTube, but has anybody ever cooked it out of a car? Not really sure. A truck? Definitely not. So we're gonna make a Popeyes chicken sandwich out of the back of the trusty truck. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name's Mavrik. I spend some time camping, living, whatever you want to call it, out of this 2011 F-150. If you want to check out stuff about my truck camper setup, I have more videos on my channel. But for now, we're gonna run over to Popeyes and grab ourselves a chicken sandwich. Hi there, can I get one spicy chicken sandwich, please?
One spicy chicken sandwich?
Yep.
Anything else?
That'll be it. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. We secured the bag.
I was on the road, yeah, secured a bag, yeah.
Can you hear that right now? That's my solar panel making that noise. I really need to get a flange on there. That's ridiculous. I've been putting that off. So that's like one of my biggest mistakes that I just keep getting reminded of. It's like something that you don't think about until you get in your truck, and then all of a sudden it's just like, whee! For like 3 hours on your road trip. Alright, this seems to be a reoccurring problem on the channel. My chicken's frozen, so not having a microwave to defrost it, just gonna leave it in the bag there, drive around a little bit, and hopefully thaw the thing out. Alright, so 200 miles and like 3 hours later, I've got a chicken sandwich in the middle of northern Minnesota and all the equipment to make another one. This is disgusting. So for our breading, we're combining 1 tablespoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne, and paprika. We're adding that to 1 cup of flour and a half cup of cornstarch. We're then realizing that we put that in too big of a bowl and trying to downsize. So to prepare my chicken for the marinade, I decided to use 2 cutting boards and flatten the chicken out. Chicken breasts come a little bit too thick, so we're just basically pressing this thing down. You can use a rolling pin or get creative, but I just use my hands and 2 cutting boards. So now we're adding that to our 1 cup of buttermilk. It's optional, but you can add 1 teaspoon of paprika and garlic powder into the buttermilk and salt and pepper to taste. So if you are gonna use MSG, you wanna make sure that it's in your marinade. I decided to use some MSG today, so you see me adding that here. That was a bit much. So while our monosodium glutamate is seeping into our chicken, we're gonna prepare our spicy mayo. So this is a spicy mayonnaise, so we're gonna start with the mayonnaise base. Add a little bit of Frank's Red Hot in there. I'm just eyeballing it. You wanna use about a tablespoon or so. Oh no. And then we're gonna add a tablespoon of each paprika and cayenne. Okay, a little more than a teaspoon there. Good thing that's just for color. All right, so our chicken's been marinating for about 15 minutes. We're gonna add that to the cornstarch and flour mixture, and then we're gonna get these things frying. I'm gonna just turn up the heat a little bit on this oil, make sure it's hot enough, then we're ready to fry. So Popeyes is known for their superior crispiness. We're really trying to mimic their breading here. That's why we're using buttermilk and cornstarch. Kind of gives you that wavy texture. I'm adding a little bit of paprika into the flour mixture before dipping my chicken in there. That's really just for color and looks. It's not really for flavor. You want to make sure that oil's piping hot, and you also want to make sure your chicken is absolutely covered with flour and cornstarch before you throw it in there. So by having any wet spots on that piece of chicken, it's not going to get crispy. It's going to be a soggy spot. You don't want it. So make sure and double check that your chicken doesn't have any soggy spots on it and it's all covered in flour. This can't be done without a brioche bun. So I'm using brioche buns. If you guys can't find brioche buns, you can use any regular hamburger bun. It does add a little bit of extra flavor. I didn't have any butter today, so I decided to toast these things up with some mayonnaise. It actually works great. After my buns got a nice golden brown bottom to them, I decided to add my spicy mayo base, add some hamburger dill pickle chips, and then we're gonna add that crispy chicken patty. All right, folks, so this is the fun part. This is where I get to unveil the Popeyes chicken sandwich versus my sandwich. This thing has also been on the road for a couple hours, so he's probably not looking too hot. Well, there we go. That's the Popeyes sandwich, and there's mine. Let's see. What do you think? All right, well, let's compare, shall we? So right here we have the Popeyes sandwich, and then this is the sandwich that I just cooked. So we open this thing up. We got some sauce kind of thrown on there, a couple pickles. You know, this thing looks nice. I mean, the chicken has a nice texture to it. It's obviously cold now because it's probably about 4 hours old. Biting into this thing, I guess I'll do it just for testing purposes, but it's probably not gonna be good because it's cold. Not as crispy anymore, kind of sat too long. Has some nice flavor, pretty spicy. Soggy though. Bun's kind of soggy. No bueno. Now, let's take a look at this thing. Nice thick piece of chicken in there. Oh, it's just, pickle juice is just running off this thing. We've got fresh homemade mayo on there. Nice brioche bun. Like, just check this thing out. Flaky, crispy. Trying to find somebody around here that I can give the other one to. But I think everybody's kind of scared from the virus. I don't know. Maybe I'll go knock on somebody's truck. Also, people probably think I'm gross because I live in a car. Hey, do either of you want a chicken sandwich?
Chicken sandwich? We actually just got some food, brother.
Shoot. All right, so would I recommend doing this out of the back of your truck? Not really. There also was a couple things that you could have done in a kitchen that I couldn't have done in a truck. One of which I should have, well, I definitely could have done this in a truck, but you should have blotted the chicken after it came out of the oil. Like, get all that extra oil off of there. The other thing you could have done is taken a metal spoon when the chicken's cooking and brush some hot oil over the top of it. Just cooks the chicken more evenly. Makes it less prone to burning, is what I'm trying to say. The other thing that I did wrong was I used a non-stick pan. Don't use a non-stick pan. Use a cast iron when you can. All my cast iron pans, well, all of them, 2 of my cast iron pans that I own are in my truck right now, and they're buried, and I didn't want to dig them out for this recipe. So those are 3 things that I messed up on. I'm sure there's a couple other things. I don't really know what else it was right now, but those are the 3 main things that I'm thinking about right now. Obviously, there's factors out here, wind. I don't have a running sink, so I can't wash my hands very often, and I'm cooking out of a truck. I'm outside. Like, stuff's difficult. So if you guys are doing this in a kitchen, make sure to be cleanly. Just because you see it on this channel doesn't mean that you can lack on cleanliness, especially when dealing with stuff like chicken. You get salmonella poisoning, it's game over. So I did test these in the kitchen before coming out to my truck and making them. So if you guys do want the recipe, I'm gonna leave it in the description below. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought was the better looking sandwich. Until next time, my name is Mavrik, and you're under the drill. Just keep on trucking.
I want to take the whole thing.
You don't want the whole thing?
No.
All right. Here, let me put it. Trips.
Yeah.
And like last summer, I spent 4 months in this thing. I drove out to California. Yeah.
What do they fish for mainly out here?
Coho.
Coho, real salmon?
Yeah, coho salmon. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
Is
you
it
can get 'em.
is it pretty? I mean, fruitful?
Yeah, you can get them right here.